This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to episode number 31 of 2.5 Weebs. This week we watched the first 3 episodes of Sarazanmai, which was a time.
You did say that correctly as well.
Also, there was no Vinland Saga
good.
this
Yes, no
this
Vinland
week.
Saga this week.
Because they are on
at the very beginning.
week
They were hit by a hurricane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They were hit by a hurricane, so they delayed it by a week. So if anybody's mad about that, like, get over yourself.
You need to,
check your values.
I can completely relate. I just had one of those this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, because I live by
believe
Lake
it.
Erie, so safe from
Yeah, well,
hurricanes.
I did not because I'm in the middle of a desert.
That
so
too.
Yeah, well, I live on an island, so
Well,
it makes one of us.
you should.
storm season is a thing.
Why don't we all just go move to the desert? Actually, it's really nice. I visited
I've
Arizona years
fucking
ago,
loved
and
it.
I fucking loved it.
Okay, I have lived in the prairies, which is where our deserts are in Canada. No, my answer to that is no.
Okay.
Well, your deserts are very different from our deserts.
Our deserts are as hot as yours in the summer, and the exact opposite in the winter, which is they get as cold as they get
If it
hot.
hits about 32, it hits about negative 32.
32 is not even the high point for certain
It was an
places in Manitoba.
underestimation because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it can get close to the 40s and sit there, and then in the winter, when you start factoring the wind chill, because it's a flat prairie, there's like no trees, you can get like minus 80,
Dang.
Cool.
which is a temperature I've had while I was out there before, and minus 80 is not nice weather. For those Americans listening, that would be the equivalent of negative 112.
Yeah, that's a lot. Minus 40 is where it evens out, right?
I couldn't. tell you.
Yes. Yeah, minus 40 is where it's even. Minus 40 is pretty regular in the prairies. It's
Yeah.
not fun weather, and it's not like there's no snow. Like when I lived there, snow was typically 4 to 6 feet deep, like every winter. So it's a fun time. Everybody stays inside.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, remember when this was an anime podcast and not a fucking weathercast?
Right.
We'll get to the weather because we have a hurricane stuff to talk about.
I mean, do you mean
We did
we'll
have
get
some
to the
hurricane stuff to
anime?
talk about.
I don't know. Either way, this week we watched Sarazanmai, which,
Easily the greatest show ever made.
I'm gonna guess Dale hates the show. And
This
here's
was
the thing.
dumbest shit.
As soon as I started watching the show, this actually reminded me of one of my favorite animes, which is Samurai Pizza Cats.
God,
the
Nice.
version
is
of
it because
sounds-
did they do like a very similar thing where like the background and stuff, like all the characters were super just
It's just the
low
overall
val-
tone of like irrelevant shit happening during the show that
Yeah.
very much sets the tone of Samurai Pizza Cats. Mostly because Pizza Cats, they kind of lost all the transcripts when they had this show, so all they had was the animation. They didn't have like the recording of it. So
Nice.
if I'm recalling correctly, they just basically made up stories that kind of fit the mouth movements, and that's how we got Samurai Pizza Cats.
That's awesome.
So the show makes no sense. It's completely stupid, but it's just wonderful. This show, however, is a thing.
This
definitely-
show is something completely unique.
I will say this show is very pretty. It is very well animated.
It is. Oh wow, yeah, like it is. It is aggressively pretty. It should not look as good as it does for the content that it is.
No.
And we all are very aware of that. So
Yes.
speaking of the content of this show, man,
We learned that your feelings are stored in your butthole.
No, not your
Hey,
feelings. Your desires
desire.
are stored in your
Oh.
butthole.
Hey,
okay.
and depending on who you are, this is probably completely true.
Nice.
No judgment.
So
Nice.
the basic plot of the show, because it's a thing, is that there's a kappa that sucks your asshole until he's done sucking your asshole,
Mhm.
and then turn into a kappa until you suck other people's assholes. Please suck otters, assholes. Otters are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like the Otter Empire is somehow the bad guys, which is
They're Kappa zombies.
Do you think
Is
they
what
could
they
be the
are.
Ottoman Empire one day?
no.
I thought I was the pun person here.
Yeah, don't punish us with your puns.
Look, we're both punderful. Okay, fuck off, Copper.
Wow.
So
What a
yeah.
time to be alive. Man,
It
so,
starts.
like,
I don't even.
How does the first episode start? Fuck.
The
Okay,
dude's
so-
walking. Okay, the dude's leaving his house, and he's like, "I have a very specific daily thing." He
Routine,
carries
yeah,
around a
he-
fucking Amazon box with him religiously.
It's
No.
not Amazon.
box.
It's Capazon.
Kappa's okay. It's just it's Amazon, but not because Kappa. So he has to carry this box around with him all the fucking time, literally always, because backpacks don't exist in this world. And he has to watch the like bingo scores every day or whatever. Not the bingo scores. It's like the what is
You
it?
have to watch a weird video.
He has to
Okay,
watch a
so-
weird like.
Little aside, he is watching what is called an idol.
Mhm.
And this is the thing that happens in Japan is they'll have like a person who appears on TV, and they basically give out things like horoscopes, the weather, and maybe a couple of minor news updates, mostly fluff pieces. So that's
Mhm.
basically what he's tuning into, and
Very
the
much
reason
fluff
for it,
piece.
yeah, and he's tuning in basically to see what item she is recommending is lucky for the day that people carry around,
Yes,
which makes no sense until things are revealed a little later on.
Yep. Which is, man, this show does great with reveals. I love it. So you got your poor boy who's watching those videos. You have his friend who's definitely not gay for him, who plays soccer with him all the time.
Absolutely is though.
Definitely not.
Look,
And
this is episode 1. He's definitely not. Okay.
Definitely not. And then you have the drug dealer who just
Yeah.
I don't know what his deal is.
I
but
loved that. I loved that episode. We'll get to that. So we have this kid who's like very mopey and morose. We have his soccer-loving friend who's
loving a
goes to
little more
school
than
with him.
soccer.
And then we have the criminal, who is a criminal. The first time you meet him, he's trying to break into a car.
Yeah, and
So-
then they.
So what happens is,
Oh, why don't you do it? Because I have such a spotty memory of this episode.
okay, so first episode we meet our main character.
I tried to block out
who's-
the entire fucking show. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not surprised. Who is the mopey kid? He basically goes in saying, "This is things I have to do every single day." Doesn't really go into why, just says he has to do it,
Oh, you learn one.
and you learn why, but he doesn't mention it during
It's
his
the
little.
stupidest fucking
monologue
thing. I
piece.
hate it. It's just like
I know,
fucking,
I know, but
oh,
Dale
Look,
does
God.
not like
more-
this show. If
look,
you
look.
can't tell.
All right,
Okay.
we'll get to it.
the more you interrupt, the longer this will take, Dale.
I'm just gonna mute myself. This is the Two Weebs podcast today. I'm just gonna not be here. If that's okay.
Dale doesn't like the show. Well, I'll run through the synopsis of this very quickly. So we meet our mopey character.
Mhm.
He basically gives a little monologue about the things he has to do every time. Then
Mhm.
from there, we meet our second character, who's the criminal. He's trying to break into a car, and he gets his picture taken accidentally by someone trying to take a selfie.
By that idol.
This leads him to
That idol taking a selfie.
yeah,
from
it's
earlier.
it looks like it's the girl idol taking a selfie. This leads him to chasing that person, and we cut to our mopey character standing in front of a shrine to a Kappa god.
Yep.
Now, Kappas are mythological creatures in Japan
And
like-
emotes on Twitch.
and emotes on Twitch. Why that's called that, I don't know, but that's what we got. So
yeah.
he's standing there basically praying to this shrine. The criminal runs up and demands, if he's seen the girl. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He sees his phone, and they both have the same phone strap to it, basically a little dangle
Yep.
from the phone. He then assumes that he knows the girl and attacks him with a ruler.
Yes, like literally, he's using a ruler like it's a goddamn sword.
Yes, he has a ruler, a metal ruler like a sword. He even has a piece of
Like,
cloth wrapped around the end of it so he can use
yeah,
it.
I was gonna say gauze, but
He was also using this as a jimmy bar to break into a car.
yes.
which makes sense. That actually would work pretty well.
It would work. Listen, I've seen that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So I just know how to break into cars. So they get into a fight. The statue breaks, and then there's this big explosion, and he wakes up in school. From there, we meet his friend who loves soccer, who is really mad at him because apparently he just quit the soccer team without telling him, and he's very upset because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Then a new student is introduced to the class, and it's the criminal kid. From there, the two of them, the criminal and the moped kid, start hearing bells all day long, and at certain times of day start doing behavior that is associated with Kappas. They then end up back at the Kappa shrine, feeling that they've been called there. And it turns out there is a little Kappa god there, who basically says
mad that they broke his statue.
He's kind of mad they broke his statue, but he basically has called them there for their assistance. Third kid shows up, and they end up getting the Kappa god mad by calling him a frog. This results in the god sucking out the special organ that lives in a human's ass that contains all of humans' desires, turning them into Kappas. He then tells them that he can turn them back if they assist him with destroying the Kappa zombies, which are running rampant and stealing a bunch of boxes, causing them to fly around the city randomly in the sky.
Yep.
They do so. They end up fighting this giant monster thing and pulling a special organ out of its zombie butt.
Yes, I also feel like we're glossing over how they suck the organs out of the ass, because it is very detailed and very animated, and man, it doesn't matter if you fucking hate it. You have to admit it looks really pretty when they do it.
Okay, so
they do actually, and they literally go through the full animation every time they do it.
While they're
three
doing
episodes, all 3 episodes.
While they're doing this, they're actually singing a song as well that changes a little bit each time.
A little bit because they have a secret,
which is kind of hilarious. So they pull out the organ, destroys the zombie. Turns out they then have to transfer that organ to the Kappa god for their little job to be complete and turn back to humans.
And they have to do it with the Sarazanmai.
But correct. That's what it's called. That's the title of the show. This causes the leakage of memories and desires and basically shameful events in the characters' lives to one another.
Yes.
It's only very minor in the case of the soccer-loving kid and the criminal, but they get to see a very
for this episode, it's minor. I want to point out, like, it is.
And this time right now, it's very minor for those two, but they get to revel fully in the shame of the mopey kid, which is that he is a cross-dresser who dresses up and takes selfies of himself dressed as the idol to send them to another person.
He was also the person who took pictures of criminal kid breaking into a car.
Yeah, thus he was the person who took the criminal's photos.
Also, if you watch it, I just want to point out, it shows in the first scene when it's the picture being taken, it's literally the girl, but then in the second time that it shows it, when it does the flashback, it's the dude dressed as the girl. So they changed the animation.
Yes. And that's because the first time it's shown, it's from the perspective of the criminal.
Exactly.
And he doesn't realize that it's not actually the idol. He just thinks it is, and thus he sees her because that's what he expected to see.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's pretty much ends the first episode. Second episode.
Hey, so quick question. Did you watch any of the after credit scenes?
I did, but they're not super important. The only other thing to mention from these episodes is, and this is important for the first one because the first episode is when you get the first shot of these guys, there are 2 police officers who are basically kidnapping people and causing them to
into giant naked people.
Yeah, causing them to, like, they pull out their desires, killing them, unlike what the kids are doing. And
they're up to some utterly despicable actions, and it's terrible.
Utterly despicable.
This turns them into the giant Kappa zombies that the kids then go and fight. the end
They
of the
also
episodes.
sing a song and dance every episode as
Yes,
well.
and they
when
also
summon the
sing a
Exact
song and
monster.
same
dance.
song with
But
one
theirs
word
is the
changed.
yeah.
And possibly the
Theirs is
lead singer changed.
theirs is the same song.
And then they do the same exact attack and the same animation. It's like, but it all looks so good. I can't even be mad that they're reusing shit.
Yeah, it's
I
very
can.
strange, but it is 100%.
But
It makes sense for this style of anime, and it is very well animated. So moving
Yes.
on to episode 2, we find out the criminal kid has an older brother because they're waterboarding a guy at the very start of the episode.
yeah, they're straight up just, they're not even like just waterboarding him like a cloth over his face and like pouring water on it. They're straight up wrapped his head in bandages and are dunking him in a bathtub.
Yeah,
Like-
so they're straight up waterboarding this guy for information. Turns out his brother's also a criminal too. Surprise! No one's really surprised. And the kid's like, I can make money too. Like, you don't have to do this other thing that he's going to go do. They don't really mention what it is, but apparently it must be dangerous because his brother is worried about him. We then cut to the mopey kid with his brother, and apparently that's the person that he's been sending selfies to.
He's been
dressed-
catfishing his
dressed-
brother. You discover,
Yes.
which is
dressed as the
just,
idol,
just
and you
fucked
start.
up and creepy. And why the fuck?
Okay,
would
you
it?
do start to understand why a bit what's going on with him and his brother in
Yes.
at the end of episode 3.
It's
But
terrible.
we'll get to that. So he's basically pretending to be this idol for his brother, so his brother can have this friendship with his idol that he really likes. Now, it should be mentioned his brother is like super young, so it's not like his interest her in a love manner. He's just thinks she's great and wanted to be her friend.
Yeah, he just thinks that she is the goddamn bee's knees, and that's about it. There's nothing weird or sexual about it, and they're not like,
No.
he's not like actually trying to catfish his brother into a relationship.
Yeah. So his brother is with this cat, and his brother wanted a pet cat. They're not allowed to have one. So they're feeding it a what's called a neighborhood cat. So it's just a cat that's free and roaming around, stray.
Yes.
So they're feeding this cat some food. Then the idle thing comes on, says lucky things for the day are cats.
Mm-hmm.
We, cut back to the criminal guy, and he is working with Herb, as the show
Herb.
calls.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
the-
straight up selling that dank herb.
Yeah, as the show calls it, it refers to it as herb. It is 100% marijuana. It even has
100% weed.
like it
It
completely
the
shows
plants.
it shows it grow up. It
Yeah.
shows like the actual plants. It shows him putting it in the baggies and hiding it in cat food bags, like fish cat food bags.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This results in the fat cat that the other guy was feeding, basically wandering into his apartment, seeing the bags and stealing one, resulting in him chasing the cat. And of course, now the other guy is now dressed up as a girl again, so he can take his daily selfie, looking for a cat, which he can't find because apparently all the cats are missing. Sees
Yep.
the fat cat, decides, "Oh, I'm going to take my picture with the fat cat. That'll be great." The other guy is chasing it, and he's like, "Oh no!" And so the cat runs away from both of them. One guy's trying to stop it. One guy's trying to get the cat to run away from him, so he doesn't, so the guy doesn't kill it with his
Ruler.
sword.
I also just two quick things that we need to touch on. Glasses Boy has a fucking gun right now.
Yes, the glasses kid has a gun right now because he accidentally got the package that
He
belonged
accidentally
to.
got Edgelord's box.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
because
they are
all three of them had boxes.
okay. So here's the
the-
thing with the glasses nerd, he has just a giant UPS box carrying a little tiny
Amazon,
box
but
that has a
yes.
bracelet in it. Like, why the fuck when
Yes.
you put that little box in your fucking pocket? It's so dumb. And
I
then
know.
the other dude's like, I'm gonna keep this gun in a box. Put the gun in your why? Stupid.
Yeah,
So-
so he pulls out a gun every once in a while when he wants to be cool.
Yeah, so
And also, I want to point out that every single time, like that they have to go fight a giant Kappa zombie, there's something weird floating through the air, and it's related to the dude that is a giant Kappa zombie, and then that dude releases their desires. in the first episode, it was all the boxes, and he just really liked getting naked and putting a box on his head.
Yes, the giant zombie was a creature with a box on its head.
Yes.
This time, its cats end up flying through the airs, which is why the cats are missing.
Yes.
So they end up having to go, fight
Also, the police
giant.
officers have a dance number in this episode.
They do.
They do
so
in
they-
every
episode
episode,
after it.
minus the
Yes.
yeah.
Minus the first one. So they have to go fight this Kappa zombie again to rescue all the cats. They end up doing so, and this time's shameful event is again the Mopey Kid. And you find out that the fat cat that they've been chasing and that he's been feeding with his brother, so his brother has a cat to feed, was somebody's pet, to the point where that was like dressed up in clothes and stuff like that. And he 100% swiped that cat from someone's yard so that it can stay outside as a stray cat instead. So his brother would have a cat to feed occasionally.
Yeah. It shows 3 scenes. It's like, hey, look, I like my brother is really wants a cat. Oh, look, I'm gonna go get a cat, and he just steals a cat for his brother.
Yeah, 100%. It's
not a cool thing to do.
Which is messed up, like, completely.
Yes, very like. These are supposed to be things that are messed up. So.
Yeah. And moving on to episode 3, because we're just glossing over these things.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, really quick! You forgot the after credits scene for episode 2, where Glasses Boy just.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this one is important.
Buddy.
So
yes,
his buddy finally got the picture to send his brother, which is him with the fat cat. And his brother's relieved that the fat cat's okay, plus that he got his picture. So he's sleeping on some steps after taking the picture because he's exhausted after the day's long events. And his buddy, the soccer kid, sees him there and decides to straight up kiss him while he's asleep, which is very, very rapey.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm in love with you. So we move on to episode 3, and that's the start of episode 3. And you find out that these two have been friends for a super long time, and that soccer kid is very much in love with the Mopey kid.
They were the golden duo.
They were the golden duo, as they call them, as he referred to themselves from playing soccer and stuff like that. They were best friends, were all together, stuff like that. Now it should be mentioned that he didn't know the guy cross-dressed, so it's not like he was into him because he was looked like a girl. He was just into him for being himself.
Yeah, he was into him because he was like his friend and took care of him and all that stuff.
So this episode is basically the soccer kid hallucinating a bunch of his friend, having a turnaround and a personality and stuff like that, and getting back together, being friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
And the special thing for this day was kiss from the lady. So the other guy is running around. Yeah, Gisu, which conveniently is also the name of a type of fish in Japan.
Which is why that's the only reason I just said that.
So you've got the Mopey Kid running around trying to find a Kisu fish because he can't get a picture of himself being kissed to send his kid brother. And you got the other guy hallucinating, and just for its advance, like he gets into a fight. And he hallucinates that, his buddy comes along and breaks it up and sends the other guys running. Turns out, no, that's not what happened. It was the criminal guy who came and basically told them to screw off. They ran off scared.
Yeah.
Apparently he's frightening. Mind you, he might have a gun on him at this point because it's 100% that he has a gun and has pulled it and pointed at people before.
He's coming right now to get his gun back. That's like the whole reason that he's there, is because this is when he gets his gun back from the other dude, and he gives him the bracelet.
Yeah, they switch boxes, so it's possible he pulled the gun on the other two. From there, you find out that the soccer kid's sister is supposed to be on a date. But her boyfriend is kind of missing. Turns out that he's the person who's been turned into the next zombie because he was basically someone who was trying to seduce women to do things like marriage fraud, where basically he would just pretend to marry someone, get access to their bank account, steal her the money, type of thing. So he becomes a fish-headed zombie that they have to pull the thing from. And this time, We get to see the shameful desires, past of the soccer kid, and it turns out that each of them get to see that he's got a huge thing for his buddy, and decided to make out with his buddy while he was asleep.
Yep, pretty rapey.
Which his buddy passes off as though someone must have dared him to do it.
Yep.
Because they would have.
And then obviously Glass's kid, because he is actually totally gay as fuck for his friend.
He's like, no.
Like he has like 8 different like delusions in the entire episode where he's just like sitting there and then he just snaps back to reality.
Yeah, so he has another delusion where he's like, no, I really love you. And he's like, well, too. And then turns out it's the delusion. And then criminal kid pulls his gun, and then stuff goes from there. That's pretty much a gist of the episodes. We did gloss over a good bit because there are a lot of little things that go on that super don't impact the story, but are of important, like, to pay attention to, I think, if you're going to watch this show long term. As we said, animation wise, the show is extremely good looking.
I was actually point out the after credit scene for episode 3 was just showing off that the kids, the Mopey boy's little brother, can't walk, which I thought was really well done, all things considered, because I never thought about it at all.
It's not like every time you meet his little brother's sitting down, but he's never sitting. But he's sitting on things like he's sitting at the kitchen table, or he just sat up in bed.
Yeah,
right.
Or he's sitting on like a bench.
He's sitting on a bench, right? All things like you would never consider. And then he talks at the end scene for episode 3. He's talking to the soccer kid, and he hands him a little ankle bracelet that his brother had thrown away when he quit soccer, that the soccer kid had given him originally. And he's like, here, maybe you can give it back to him someday, since I can't run with my brother. And you're like, oh. And when he says that, they're just still sitting on the bench. You're like, oh, I guess maybe he's referring to, them being of different ages and different class. They never get to play together on a team.
Yeah, and then they pull out a foldable wheelchair.
And then, chalking it up to the fact that this is Japanese translation to English. Then it's, they pull out the wheelchair and the kid sits in the wheelchair and it's getting pushed, and the scene pans out and you see that they're at basically a children's hospital, and you're like, oh, shit. Okay. And it completely explains why Mopey Kid is Mopey, because they reference the fact that he stopped smiling and he never smiles anymore, and he's always kind of sad, and he wants to break his brother's wish come true and do something like would do anything for his brother. Turns out his brother is probably dying as a kid, and he's like super depressed about it and upset, because obviously, well, who wouldn't be?
Yes, of course.
So kind of explains his behavior and just kind of throws that curveball at you at the end of an episode. It's like, here, go, fuck off. So that's the thing to consider. So it looks like for
as much of a meme as this show was, pretty enjoyable to watch.
The show is funny. I will give it that.
I'm not going to continue, I don't think.
I'm not going to continue the show. This show does remind me of one of my favorite animes of all time, but this is still not something I'd sit down, I think, and watch like fully all the way through. I can see someone doing it because the show is well written, if weird.
It's also
the comedy,
very pretty.
It is extremely pretty. The comedy is actually pretty good in this as well. But there are some very odd, story choices, just because that's the type of show it is. So, if you don't mind irrelevant humor that is from an irrelevant show, like, things are very fast paced. They do jump around a lot. The episodes, if you take into account the opening title sequence and the ending credits, you're probably only looking at like 19 to 20 minutes at most. So it's a little shorter than a lot of other shows. So it does go kind of quick. But the show is very strange. And I can't think off the top of my head who I would recommend this to.
Listen, I know enough people that would probably watch it.
I do know some people who'd probably watch this. I know people would like this show because it is funny. It is well drawn. And the voice acting's even pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. It's just not.
It is a lot. It's a lot of show.
It's the very over the top show and not my style of thing.
It's
I know Dale hates it. Dale hated the show.
It's top 5 garbage shows that I've seen because of the show.
That was half the reason I picked it. I'll be honest, is because I knew that Dale would just fucking despise it.
Thanks.
So,
Thank you.
hey, listen, come on, man. How about you pick the show for next week, huh?
I recommended shows and you ignored them for like 2 weeks in a row. So eat a box of dicks, and now I'm not going to pick a show.
All right, Queen's Blade it is.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
No, I'm kidding.
Are
That's a
we?
little much.
I'm still kind of saving that one in my back
Yeah,
pocket.
no, that's a when Copper's ready to end the world. He'll use
Because I think Dale has kind of looked at what Queen's Blade is supposed to be, so
even I haven't. So
I don't know if I did or not, actually.
I don't know if he's Googled it or not. I would not Google that if I was you, by the way. Let it be a surprise.
I feel like I already did Google it at some point.
Probably.
I don't know.
Well, now you're just getting banned.
yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
No, I was muting myself to say stuff, so don't worry about it.
I know. I was just deleting some of your chat. But yeah, very over the top show.
Very over the top show.
If you like things that are like over the top, that are funny and strange,
for the sake of being stupid,
and just kind of weird,
this is for you.
I would say give this show a try. I can't say it's a bad show.
You can just say it's not for you.
I can say it's not for me because it is well done for what it is. Like, for example, like my girlfriend just started watching Mad Men on Netflix. I tried sitting down and watching a couple episodes with it, and now keep in mind I work in marketing and advertising, and I've worked in the corporate sector for marketing and advertising, and that show bores the fuck out of me.
There you go.
So, would I say it's a bad show? No, it's just not for me. And this is the same thing here. It's not a bad show. I enjoyed parts of it. I really liked the animation of it. I was surprised I was surprised within like the first 2 minutes of when the first episode started of how well like made the animation was, considering what I knew about the show going in. I was expecting kind of low tier effort on the animation wise, but
because it's and I had been saying multiple times while I was watching, it's like, where are they getting the budget for this show? Like,
that is very,
because like for shows that pretty, you need a really high budget to look good.
Yes, you need a high budget, and you have to expect a large audience to justify that much money being spent, and that's not something I would expect from here.
Exactly. It's a thing. And like for example, like Demon Slayer, very, very pretty show, but there are times where they cut like animation quality a lot. And it's because you don't need to have high animation quality in those areas. Like for example, like they would cut animation quality in Demon Slayer and use like 3D models when they're just doing like I can think of one scene where they did it, and it was a 2-second walking scene where it probably would have taken an hour and a half to animate it using 2D, or like 15 minutes using 3D. So they just saved their time and put that budget to another place.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you're supposed to do. It was very smart of them. And it's a good time. They also cut, like in this show, for example, they cut all of the like people that aren't main characters or that don't talk, do not have any details. They're literally stick people.
Yeah, they do like a silhouette outline that is stylized, and it makes sense. Like they kind of explain a little bit of why it looks like that, and it does make sense. Same thing for all the signage. They have all the signs be like the same sign during certain shots, rather than having to, make individual signs and place them and stuff like that, which saves a ton of time.
Yeah, and for example, like Ruby in the first couple seasons, because they didn't have budget for it, they just all of the extra characters at the school were just silhouettes.
Yeah.
None of them had any details. They were just silhouettes.
Yeah, there's a few things you can do in animation to cut your costs down, your time down, and time is definitely money when it comes to animation.
Yeah, that is like when people talk about like animation budget, they're talking about the ability to pay their animators for the amount of time that they're doing, and it takes a lot of time to do certain things. So,
but yeah, good show. Not a recommend just because I can't say it's for me, but
I'm gonna say like if you're into super dumb shit, like
then give it a go. Yeah.
Like it's definitely worth a shot. I liked it more than I thought I would because I was going into it for the memes.
I thought I was gonna hate this just as much as Dale did, and it turns out I didn't. It's
like it's not a me show, but it's not a bad show.
Yeah.
So
this is a garbage tier show.
Yeah.
If you actually like this,
anything bad is
I'm surprised.
Wrong.
I think this hits like every box for that Dale doesn't like.
No, it doesn't. It's just
that's true. There is no pointless TNA. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Why are we catfishing a 6-year-old? That doesn't make sense.
I'm pretty sure we were pointing out how we're not catfishing
I
a 6-year-old.
I know. But still, it's
that.
I don't know. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, this is not a show for Dale.
This is not a Dale show. I'm aware of the shows that I can recommend for him, and he'll be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll watch this." I knew he wasn't gonna like this.
Yeah. Now, have either of you given some thought about what to watch this coming week? Now, for those who are curious, who tune in a bit later or whatnot, but why we're not talking about the newest Vinland Saga, it was postponed a week, so we'll hopefully get back to it this week.
Hopefully,
yeah. The newest episode should be up right now.
The newest episode is out. I just looked.
Is out right now. Then we will be talking about it next week.
Yep.
The newest episode, peek behind the curtain, comes out an hour before podcast, so it's kind of unreasonable for us to do it right before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we just decided to do it a week afterwards.
Like the only way for us to do that is like I would have to shut my stream off for like half an hour.
You'd have to shut your stream off or like watch it on the side while doing.
I've never done that ever. Never.
That is a dinosaur.
That is a dinosaur.
I'm sorry. I do not mean to be distracting.
We'll talk about what Comfy is talking about.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like that's once we find a show, I feel like this is the next step. So
yes.
So we still have for recommendations for things to watch. There is still Copcraft to look at.
Ooh, that one does look fun.
So that is definitely a thing.
I do like Copcraft.
There's also the Isekai Cheat Magician. It's been a little bit.
That's bad. It's not a good show.
It was. I said I didn't say it was.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of that, and it's like, so think of the most like isekai you can think of.
Yes. Yeah.
Multiply it by 3.
That sounds terrible.
And then toss in some like lower quality,
needlessly gratuitous boobies and stuff. Like then you got it.
I wasn't gonna mention that. That's just kind of a part of a lot of isekais. But I was gonna say toss in some bad animation.
It's not great animation. Everybody is super nice in the show though, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, it's very.
Because like I was going from like watching Shield Hero to watching that.
Yeah, it's a very.
In Shield Hero, everyone's an asshole immediately for no fucking reason. And then in Isekai Cheat Magician, they run into people and it's like, oh, you guys aren't from here. Here, let us help you out. Here's some money. Let us take you to the nearest town so you'll be safe. Like it is like jarring. But...
Yeah, the shift is very, very different. But yeah, if no one has any other recommendations offhand, I would say let's take a look at Copcraft, which is something Dale might like. It is basically a buddy cop type anime where it's totally
magic.
With magic. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
This one is
It looks
more.
fun to me. So
It's more adult focused, especially in this last show,
Mhm.
which will become very apparent from the animation at the get go, and the fact there is violence in this show, and the fact we are dealing with police officers doing their actual job, so dealing with drug trade and murder and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
So next week is Copcraft. Neat. So none of us have been playing any particular cool game lately this week. Nothing.
No, I
nothing.
haven't seen anything
uneventful.
that's like actually that good.
No new
I've
big
been
game
keeping my
release
eyes
or
out.
anything. Yeah.
I don't
well, I
know.
mean,
If I were
Remnant
to
put out.
like think about it, I'd probably be like near the edge of something. Like I'd be bordering on it, but I don't know, man. Like
Maybe.
hey, you know what? At least we're not getting any hurricanes over here because I'm in the middle of land, so that's
It's
pretty
true.
nice.
It's true.
That was
And
great.
hey, you know what? I'm really glad that we can do this podcast with all three of us. So it's a
Mhm.
good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
So if anybody hasn't picked up on the joke, Outer Worlds came out this week, and we've all been playing the hell out of it.
No. That's the wrong game.
Oh, my bad. So if anybody hasn't picked up on the joke, Tales from the Borderlands came out this week.
Nope.
And we've all been
Nope. Comfy.
Closer?
You're
Closer?
0 for 2.
Try again.
You're getting
Okay,
closer.
The third game in the Borderlands series has come out. Borderlands,
Yes.
the pre-sequel, and we are all
Stop.
playing it.
Fuck you. I'm mad. Okay. Borderlands 3 came
you know
out
what this
today.
is like? This is 100% like Comfy's love life. It's just so close, you just can't get it right.
It's true.
Actually, it curves to the left, so my bad.
Oh Jesus. All right.
Yeah, fuck you. Dude.
So yeah, Borderlands 3 is pretty good. I will begin by saying I'm watching Comfy play it on PC right now, and I'm like, fuck.
You wish you got it on PC.
I
am not on a PS4 Pro. Okay, so I get 30 frames per second, if that, because they optimize games nowadays, thinking of the fancy brand new consoles, not the like normal fucking consoles.
Have you met the giant mechs yet?
No.
Okay. Expect
I
your
have
frames
had times when I
like
could just count my
bottom
frame
out.
rate, and I'm like, fuck me, this
It's
sucks.
pretty terrible.
I had a headache yesterday morning. Like, legitimately
It's-
felt like shit.
There's a
playing
particular
it.
boss fight I'm thinking of that is going to nuke your frames.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm 100%
Also, my
sure of that.
menus take forever to load. I open my menu, I have to watch everything pop into the menus.
Pop in. Oof.
It's fucking terrible. It's frustrating me.
So, I have a question. How's your legendary luck been?
Good.
Oh,
actually.
you want to know my legendary
Good.
luck? You want to know my okay, so my luck literally has been terrible, and then yesterday it has switched. Like, I don't even know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I had been getting 0 legendaries for 2 days playing.
That's not true. You got a grenade mod legendary.
No. I'm sorry. I was getting no legendaries, and then I got 2 cosmetic legendaries to drop.
Oh,
You did.
boy.
Fun.
Hot.
And then yesterday, I was doing some cleanup on the map. I did a legendary hunt, got the legendary grenade mod from it.
Mhm.
It
Uh,
should be pointed out he plays Zane, who doesn't use grenade mods.
Yeah, Zane doesn't use grenades. So it was pretty fucking
he-
terrible for me.
So he got
Mhm.
another cosmetic grenade.
I essentially got
Cosmetic
another
legendary.
cosmetic. I am going to put it on my Flak playthrough because I am playing Flak on the side as well. That's the playthrough I'll be doing later today, actually, because it's my co-op one.
Right.
Mhm.
And then, so spoiler alert: you do go to a vault at some point.
Mhm.
You do fight a boss inside the vault. And that
Mhm.
vault, that very first boss that you fight in the vault has 2 unique legendaries, and I got both of them to drop for my first kill.
Nice.
Uh,
A good
one
thing
of
to
them was
know.
a Flak character mod, so
Nice. Which one was it?
I put it in my bank. Otherwise, I'd
Oh,
tell
it's
you.
a character mod. Okay, I got the rocket launcher.
I got the rocket launcher too. I have it equipped right
Yes.
Mhm.
here.
I also have the rocket launcher for that.
And
which
then
is nice.
the Typhon log from that area also gave me an SMG that I can put it on. It's actually pretty fun. So I don't use it because I have Maya's, but this one shoots like lines.
I have that. Well, I did have that one.
Nice.
See, I mounted a gun to my wall, Comfy, and then it disappeared. So be careful with
Oh
that.
no.
That's the
and
gun.
I
You think
also-
that's bad? Okay, so
Oh no.
as you know, I got like all the stuff from the highest tier.
Mhm.
I put most of it into my bank, all gone.
Oh no.
I've deleted it, honestly.
All mine disappeared from the bank. All of it.
That sucks. But like what so what my original plan was is I was just going to play it on PS4 until Shadowkeep comes out, but like after having a terrible like cuz I'm only playing on PlayStation because my fiance Kaylee does not like PC gaming. So
Right.
we're on PS4 playing with her. I don't want to play it on PS4 anymore. But I'm going to with her. But like I wasn't going to buy it on PC until after Shadowkeep, but now I'm like, can I afford another $60 so I don't have to play it on console?
You can if you use code Comfy.
Okay. Does that make the $60 less expensive? Is that how that works?
It gives me 20% of it, and I'll give you 5% of it back. Therefore, you're getting a $3 discount. You're welcome.
Okay. But yeah. So
I'm sorry. That's
no,
funny
it's
to me.
fine. It's super fun. I really enjoy it. Like I love the Borderlands series, so I'm having fun. I don't regret playing it with her on console, but I'm just like Jesus.
No.
My like
Listen,
I play everything on PC at very high frame rate, and this game is like I don't even hit 30 a lot of the time, so I'm just like, oh
Yeah,
my God,
I can't see this running super well on consoles.
It
I'm glad I'm
runs
not
like
playing it
crap.
on
At least on
console.
my day one PS4, like literally went to the midnight.
Oh,
release.
you have the
Yeah.
you have the oldest possible
Yes.
system.
Oldest.
This would probably run fine on a Pro.
I'm sure it does.
I
I think you can hit 60 on a Pro and an Xbox One X. Other than that, you're stuck at 30.
I think this would
And it frustrates
probably
me.
be sitting at less than 60 still. But it'd probably hit a good 40, 45, I think, and stay there.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought somebody was telling me that it definitely hit 60. But like
It probably does in certain spots, but there
Mhm.
are certain areas and certain fights and certain enemies
Mhm.
that will tank your frames because
Well,
I
for
saw
example, like the area I'm in right now is the largest area I have been in with the most detail, and there's a lot of water and water physics.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting my lowest frames here.
as well as
what
foliage.
are you at? You're on PC though, so
I'm at about 70 frames here.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
100% playable.
There are certain
no, like
enemies.
don't get me wrong. Like my computer is kind of fucking busted and a little more buff than it needs to be for this game
Mhm.
because I made it go all out so I could play this game well.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little bit overkill, and I'm totally cool with that because that's what I wanted. But like I'm saying, like for record, like when you get to this area, like it's not going to be great on a console.
That's the area that I'm. That's
and
literally where I'm heading next to. Like
Yeah.
There's also a certain enemy type I'm thinking of where I've seen people complain that when they come on, because of all the physics they cause, that their frames dunk, like get dunked on like 45 to 70 frames, like drop.
Really?
Like
What
that's-
enemy
yeah.
are you talking about?
Some of the big mech ones. They
Okay.
start, yeah. So, and there's a certain boss that I'm pretty sure will cause it to be even worse.
I think a lot of the bosses, like when I was fighting the Vault Monster, I was definitely dropping some frames here and there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he has a lot of particle stuff
because-
as well when he starts.
Yeah, he
throwing
has a lot
stuff
of
out.
particles. He also is breaking the entire arena while you're fighting him.
Yes.
yeah, that was a very cool fight. I liked the
It was
fight.
really
Yes.
cool, but it was a lot going on.
I've
So,
liked all of the boss fights so far.
Mhm.
Even the
there is one.
super easy one at the beginning with Mouthpiece was still okay. Like that was still an
No,
okay
it's a very
fight
fun
for that
fight.
level.
I liked it. I thought it
I
was
have
cool.
one fight that I'm not big on, and that would be the I'm not really big on the Katagawa fight.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
didn't-
love it conceptually, but it was a little too much touch and go. You know,
See, I killed him like no problem whatsoever. Like I didn't even get my shield broken because I'm playing as Flak, and I went down the rack tree. So basically, I was just throwing racks at him.
I do love rocket racks.
So
See, I was doing a lot of damage, but the problem was like once I hit a certain level of damage, he'd just teleport away.
yeah, he would just tell.
and then
Yeah,
he-
though.
And
That
like
was his-
once you get the mechanics and you figure out like the easiest way to figure out which one he is, because he clones himself with holograms using Zero Tech, which is super dope. I like the fight conceptually is amazing.
Also, did you figure out that if you shoot the thing that he stands on, it does a ton
That's
of
exactly
damage?
what I was talking about. Like that was the mechanic. Like if
Yeah.
you shoot that, it just destroys all of his things. So, and I was about it. Like 'cause that fight's awesome. It's so much fun, but it's just was a little much having to fight something and then wait a second. Naughty Peak. Spelled like knots. Berry Farm.
Yeah, like wood knots.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Gun wise though, with Flak, with the build I have, I've been loving Jacob's stuff.
Oh yeah.
See,
so much.
I've been convincing people to play Zane with my super dumb Zane abilities, such as teleport behind you, says nothing personal, kid, and then teleports away. Like,
I'm
I
far
run
enough
into groups and place clones and teleport to them.
I'm far enough in the tree that every single no matter where I shoot an enemy is a critical hit. I can shoot them in the foot. It's a critical hit.
That's dumb.
That is kind of dumb, actually. Jesus.
With Jacob's
NES cartridges, too.
gun,
Mhm.
with Jacob's guns, where their special ability is that if you get a critical shot on an enemy with a Jacob's gun, it causes the bullet to ricochet to the nearest enemy and also hit them.
Oh.
Which for me would also then usually be a critical hit on them. It's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially if you use a shotgun, because every single pellet counts.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, I've shot this thing with a shotgun for a critical hit, and everything around it explodes.
Yeah. See, I just got the one punch man shotgun,
Right.
and I just did not stop using that until just now because I just put it on Flak so I can use it today.
Yeah, I want to get that for my flak build because
It's
the critical hit plus that same tree. There's a chance to I think it's if you get a critical hit, it procs. But I think I have like a 40% chance that every time I shoot something, it just puts the shot back into my magazine.
Yeah, that's so the buff on the one pump jump, which is the one punch man shotgun, is 50% chance to just get your bullet back and not spend it.
So
So
on my build, I'd have a 90% chance to never have to reload.
exactly. And so like you might have seen it earlier or you might not have.
Ridiculous.
When I was playing, I was just kind of like walking around and shooting, and there were times where I just took 8 shots and did not reload
Mhm.
because
You don't
just
have to, yeah.
It's all RNG, and that's why it's so funny.
Yes. Yeah, and I'd like to push that RNG up a little bit.
Oh, that's what makes it the best.
Yeah, like this game, for those who kind of been on the fence, because my brother was on the fence with this game and asked me about it. It's 100% worth the money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely
great big campaign. The characters are super interesting. They all have extremely deep skill trees. 3 of them each, to be in fact, that you can mix and match stuff in.
And what I like most about this game, as opposed to the other ones, is that the skill trees are very, very specific to like the active skill you're using.
Yes.
So it's a lot easier to be like, okay, if I'm playing as Zane and I'm running these 2 skills, I'm not putting anything in this tree.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to tell. And there are still some good things right here, like, oh, you get better cooldown and stuff. But like, this is a shield buff. 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 This is a buff while the shield is active. And it's like, I'm not using the shield, so I don't put anything there.
Yeah.
All of my buffs are for speed, violence, and momentum.
Yeah, all my buffs are for like crit damage, weapon damage, and crit chance.
So that's Zane's skill tree actually is just like a Dr. Disrespect meme. You have violent speed, violent momentum, and violent violence. Because one of Dr. Disrespect's big things is like, yeah, I have speed, violence, momentum, and so the dude is just go crazy. I got a new gun
Interesting.
now.
As a related aside, you guys know the game Remnant?
Yes.
So Admiral Baru was the first person to beat the game on Nightmare from a level
Really?
a level 1 character.
Jesus Christ.
Which is insane because that Nightmare is insanely hard when you have a leveled up character to run through it on. And he started a new character, level 1, beat the game on it as a basically enshrining his achievement. The devs put a ring into the game called the Admiral's Ring.
Oh, nice.
That increases melee and weapon damage by 15%, which makes it the best, ring in slot for damage output, but also increases the amount of damage you take by 300%.
Mhm.
That's awesome. because he's Admiral Bars, so they just call it the Admirals thing. That's all. That's
The Admiral
hilarious.
ring, yeah, and the
I love when devs do stuff like that. One of the big things, they put a lot of streamer memes in
the
Borderlands 3.
the flavor tag they added onto it is that was that this is literally impossible. So that was cool.
Nice. Yeah, there is. I know there's other streamer memes in Borderlands 3.
Yes,
I know there's
there
a
are-
Destiny meme. You have to kill Dinklebot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was so happy when I killed Dinklebot.
I have
There's
not
a
gotten
Destiny
it yet,
meme. There's a One Punch meme. There is a Lord of the Rings thing as well. There's even a gun that's themed around Lord of the Rings that looks like the Balrog's. The Balrog's whip. How it left like the fiery trails. There's a gun that does that in the game that you can get by doing that Easter egg. So there's a ton of little Easter eggs and little hints, and there's a bunch of lore that they pull in from other games, from like the other Borderlands games. Like you have characters from Tales of the Borderlands, you have characters from Borderlands 1 and 2.
That's actually so. One of my
You
issues
have
with
characters
this game,
from the pre-sequel come in too, which is great.
Yeah, I was actually when I first got to this planet Eden 6, I was like, they were talking about like, oh yeah, we put a new figurehead in charge of the Jacobs Corporation. She's pretty dope. I was like, if it's fucking Aurelia, I'm gonna be so happy. And it is Aurelia.
I haven't gotten to that point.
Come think.
She just yells at you once, so it's not like super not super crazy. It's not a big spoiler.
Right.
One of the issues I had with it though was they do have a lot of Tales from the Borderlands characters in here, but if you haven't finished Tales from the Borderlands, you're kind of lost.
Yeah, you're gonna miss if you haven't played Tales of the Borderlands. You're not gonna know who Vaughn is. You're not gonna know who Reese is, which are big things. You're not gonna know the thing with Scooter, which is kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it's very important. And like for example, because I was talking to Bree about it, I was like, "Hey, you haven't played Tales from the Borderlands, so you don't really know Vaughn or Reese. Like, we should do that." We started playing it last night. I pointed out who Vaughn was, and she had no fucking idea, because he's a completely different character in Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, at the start of Tales, he looks completely different. So
yeah, well, considering that like now he's talking about killing people with his abs.
Yes,
it's
very, very different
like,
from what he.
They only let me in charge because I was able to kill somebody with my abs. You know how many people you'd have to kill with your abs? You'd like a 28 pack or something. But he does say that. It's a great line.
Yeah, it is a lot. The humorness is spot on. The writing is great. The game looks incredible, especially on PC. There's
very,
a really big campaign. There's a ton of cosmetic stuff to earn and buy, all with in-game currency. You don't have to spend actual money on it,
which is thank God.
Which is awesome.
They did that for Borderlands too, and it was kind of iffy for me.
There is an insane amount of guns to earn in this game, of various rarities going up to legendary. They added a new type to earn in Borderlands 3 called Anointed Guns that actually modify your class abilities.
Oh yeah. That you buy from. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You can also get them otherwise from Earl. They can come as on legendaries and stuff like that from the world drops. So be advised of that. So there's like a ton of grinding to do in this game. It's a Borderlands game, so there is true Vault Hunter modes. After you beat the main campaign, you can play through again on your character to further level them up and grind up more stuff in harder modes. In addition to that, they added in what are essentially Nephilim riffs from Diablo.
Yes,
as a thing.
I'm excited.
Which is crazy. So they've added in, mayhem mode, which increases drop rates and damage and stuff like that. So they've really gone all out kind of on the end game, and we haven't even gotten DLC yet, and there is DLC planned for Borderlands 3. I'm hoping a lot of it's on the line, same way as like the Tiny Tina stuff, because Borderlands DLC has traditionally added new characters, new maps, new missions, new guns, like just a huge amount of new stuff every time. And
remember when Borderlands 2 added 11 levels just so that the max level would be 69?
Yes, and that's the other thing they do is that they like to make memes, so I expect that to happen here as well. So yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
this is in 100% contender for game of the year for me.
It's already winning for me so far.
I wish I had a better experience. Like I just
yes, I wish you were on. Like if you're gonna play this, it is
If you have a
very.
PC,
It's a system heavy game. If you can choose between PC and console, I would definitely say PC.
And it's not like
because-
if I had the PS4 Pro, I would be having a better experience. But like I just
I think if you've got a Pro or an Xbox One, you're gonna have a better experience.
Like a One X, you're probably okay.
Yeah. Just because if you're on like the launch PS4s, they're old. They're not as good. Like there's no getting around.
I'm honestly think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Kaylee wanted to play some more after podcast today, but I think what I'm gonna do is I need to tear these PlayStations apart and clean them out, like air them out.
Yeah,
hopefully that'll maybe do
probably
a
have
little
a bunch
bit.
of dust and stuff.
I would also recommend getting an SSD for your PlayStation.
We already have SSDs.
You already do? Okay.
We already
they're
have
fine,
like 1 terabyte SSDs, so we put in like a couple months after we got them. So,
but yeah, heat could be an issue too, right? Like they're not going to run as well if they're full of dust and stuff. So
yeah, maybe that's because even Rex, who was also playing with us on a PS4, and I asked him, I was like, "Are you on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro?" And he's just on the normal PS4, and he even comments like, "Yeah, your menus are really slow." So maybe if I just dust them out good, I don't know, but yeah, it's just I do want to get it on PC now. I was thinking I wanted to wait, but I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can't manage to swing that extra $60 to play solo on PC.
Well, you won't be playing solo.
Well, you know what I mean.
Like,
to start,
you have a lot of people.
It'll
who are
basically
gonna
be.
want to play.
I just want to not like if Kaylee's playing it, I will be on PS4. But other than that, I just.
Oh yeah. This here for those who can actually see what Comfy is doing is another thing they added in.
My letters.
The more you use a gun, like manufacturer type, the manufacturer will actually thank you for, supporting them, supporting them, and they'll send you guns. You can also
get so many Jacob's guns.
I really like Doll.
I love the new Doll ones. I hated Doll in Borderlands 2. I love the new ones.
I found an SMG that was just fucking disgusting.
Okay, I don't like the Malawan charge up weapons.
I hate
all Malawan weapons are fucking garbage except the legendaries. Change my mind.
I like my conference call.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You know. You're an ass.
Wait, what?
Conference call is my favorite gun in Borderlands.
But it's not another one.
Yes, it is.
Conference call is Hyperion.
Is it Hyperion?
Yeah.
Hyperion.
I think it is. Yeah, I like that. There is a legendary Malawan I have that I don't like because it has a charge up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see the same. That's the thing I had about that SMG. The same one that he showed off that shoots like the orbs.
I don't like charging it up. But the thing is, this SMG, which I'm not gonna say how you get because spoilers, is charges up pretty fast and then rips through things. So I like this one a lot.
I have a pistol that has like 120 some shots to it, like in the magazine. When you reload it, it reloads 3 magazines at a time. Like it has 3 bags it has to reload.
Does this make you happy, Copper? Do you like my loot?
I do like your loot. But the thing is like stupid, like good for ripping apart enemies.
Mm-hmm. I love Jacob's weapons. Like they've always been my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
See,
never been
previously.
SMGs, if I get a single shot full auto doll, I love it.
I didn't like Jacob's weapons very much in like the previous games. I didn't find them that great.
Mm-hmm.
This game, like this run through though, with the character I'm playing, I've been running Jacob's weapons and like an Atlas auto rifle. Like that's.
I haven't really been liking the Atlas weapons. I want to find one that I like, but I haven't found one yet.
The other weapon I have on me is an anointed weapon I got from Earl. That gives me an extra charge of my racks, which is a hilarious thing to add because that's my action skill. So it just gives me a free use of my action skill, like on top of all my other uses.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb.
And
So can you just like stack up 2, basically?
I have a stack of 3.
Yeah,
Oh.
Pocket Racks gives you 2 stacks natively. So
Oh,
Yeah, 2
okay.
stacks natively. That weapon gives me 3, and there's a skill you can take which will also give you an extra one.
see, my favorite thing is
And you can. I also have a shield that has the same bonus on it too. That's an anointed shield.
so I have found that if you use Zane's clone correctly, you can get yourself into places you're not supposed to be.
Okay.
So I definitely fell off the map while trying to platform at one point. And
Nice.
I was able to use my clone to place it higher up than I actually was and teleport to it.
Nice.
And I otherwise would have been completely screwed, but you can meme on it and it's kind of hilarious. So
Cool.
I love the Zane teleporting mechanic. It's so stupid and it's so abusive, and you can meme on so many enemies with it. Just need to find enemies to meme on.
I'm also loving the level of customization they allow in this game. So
Yeah,
you
it's
have
a
your
lot.
normal, like you have your normal Borderlands where you can choose your skin, you can choose your head. Everybody expects that. But now you can also choose the colors for those skins and heads. And you actually have a
For the record,
primary.
the color picking was in Borderlands 1 and was removed in Borderlands 2 for favor of skins.
Yes. Now we didn't have, primary, secondary, and tertiary where each one has 2 colors onto it that you can alter. So it's much more in depth. But now we've got the best of both worlds. There's a good,
they
good
added
color palette where you can mix and match stuff. You get like some very interesting results. I've been using the neon skins to do stuff with. Because I actually have 4. Basically 4 neon skins, so that's kind of fun.
Comfy would be proud of me. I am Amara with cute little cat ears.
No, I'm not proud of you because you're playing Amara.
Dude, Amara's fucking fun as shit. Get out of here.
Amara was my least favorite character to play.
Punching things, Copper, Comfy, whoever you are. Punching things.
When have I ever been a punchy playstyle person?
I don't know.
I don't like punching. I like sniping and precision weapons.
I mean, so do I, but it's also fun to punch people. So, like,
Yes,
hey. Can you build Zane to be a melee character, too?
You can build him to be an up close and personal, get in your face and fuck you character.
Okay, I like that.
Not necessarily melee, but
I like Zero. I hate Zero's character. Like, he's very cringy to me. I don't like.
What?
Like,
are you kidding me?
I love his play style.
He speaks in haikus.
It's
oh my
cringy
god!
as fuck.
Okay, wait a
I
second.
like it.
What the hell was that? Yes, I can see you, Comfy.
What is that? Does it fly?
I think I just run people over with electricity. That's dope.
That's kind of neat.
Thank you. Thank you, Magic Trash Can.
Okay.
I gotta go pick that car up. I've gotten a bunch of.
There's also a million collectibles on every single planet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's super fun, and I'm really happy with it all the time.
There's like dead claptraps to collect. There's little waypoint things to collect that if you collect all of them unlocks a
weapons cache.
A weapons cache for you that's on every single map.
There's one on every single map, except for like boss fight rooms. There's not.
Yeah, unless there's it's just a small map for a boss fight. There's not, but there are different vehicles to collect that have different parts you can go get for
because all of the
motors
vehicles are super customizable in this game.
Yes, you can get different motors, different tires, different boosters, different main weapon, different secondary weapons,
different wheels,
different wheels. Yeah, I've been going around collecting pieces for the Cyclones because I really like the Cyclones, which is basically a monowheel motorcycle.
I found a hover wheel Cyclone, but then I hijacked it and it got destroyed before I could bring it back. And I'm so
Rex
sad.
had one of those, and
I want the hover wheel for my Cyclone so bad.
I haven't found that one yet. I gotta go find that one. I have a thick wheel. I have a normal wheel. I have blades.
I did just get the thick wheel.
I have a blade weapon for the Cyclone that shoots out blades, which is pretty cool. I've just been every time I see a Cyclone that has something that I don't have, I hijack it. And then hightail it to the nearest.
The Cyclones are easily the most fun vehicles to drive.
Yes. They're also super easy to handle. Like, they handle super well.
And you can get them into a lot of places you shouldn't be able to as well.
Yes, because they go through, like, Borderlands does this thing where if it doesn't want you to have a vehicle in an area, it will block off that area so you can't drive into it. But the Cyclone can actually drive through most of those blockades. So it's kind of useful. Like those guys there, the enforcers with the shields, I just throw my racks at them when they die. It's just great.
See, I like when I use Zane's clone, he just memes on people. Also, every time I have an ability active, I get super speed, if you can't tell by me running very fast.
Yes.
Like if I have anything active, I just get extra speed and damage. My little floaty boy also shoots caustic stuff for me. I have all of my stuff back before I've even used it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
This is my playstyle, which is just running at people aggressively.
Yeah, I've been using the spider ant.
I've been using what have you called your spider ant? Have you named it?
Kaylee's
No, I
using
haven't
the
named
skag.
So I haven't renamed it. I believe you can.
Yeah, she named it was Kevin or not? Yeah, I saw Kevin. He named it. What was it? His skag was named something. So
the spider ant is initially called Broodless, so I have taken to calling her Broodals.
Yeah, mine's called
Okay.
Broodless, just a standard name.
Yeah, I didn't adjust the name, but I have I'm calling her Broodals because it's cuter.
Okay,
I
now I
have
did
the,
do some quick maths. So
1 + 1
combined
is
with like
2.
my Streamloot stuff and like the PayPal, I could do all the things. Yeah, because that's what's paying for Shadowkeep and Call of Duty for me. So I could also swing Borderlands 2 in that. So
Nice.
just barely. And that's also
barely.
including taking 30% of that and stashing it away for taxes. So
Yay,
Oh, man.
Texas.
Also, have you guys noticed that if you use shotguns, enemies ragdoll randomly?
I fucking love it. It
It's
makes
I
me
love
so
they get thrown
happy.
away.
It's so
I like
dumb.
happy.
I like shooting them into the air and then shooting them while they're in the air. Just like
So,
little flesh bag skeets.
I will be-
It's very fun.
So yeah,
Borderlands
starting
is
soon whenever I'm not playing with Kaylee, I will be playing on PC.
Nice.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm just doing 2 playthroughs on PC right now, and it's a wonderful time.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm just gonna focus on the one PC. Who do
have
I
you been to
play?
Electricity yet?
Yes. Oh,
It is,
I had a weird
Electricity is
bug.
easily my most fun zone.
I had a weird bug in Electricity where me or Rex, because Kaylee was the host, that we had no audio at all for the dialogue between the characters.
The audio bug. I've gotten an audio bug as
Mm-hmm.
well, only on Eden 6, where I have every piece of audio except for my gunshots.
Mm-hmm. We had this weird
Which
bug.
is
You remember the boss in
annoying as shit.
Electricity, Comfy? How like loud and wubby it is when you fight that boss.
Yeah, that boss was really cool. I really
never
liked
stopped.
it. It
Me
never
and Rex
stopped?
were both
Okay,
like, "Wow,
Oh,
this
God.
music's never ended." So
I
like the
see, I
entirety
haven't
of the
had
time that we
any
were
of it.
in there, it was still just like wub. It's like stop, please.
I've had plenty of issues with getting to certain places and like stuff not working.
Mm-hmm.
I've had no issues with sound. I have had some frame rate issues here and there, but I've been able to adjust my settings.
Okay.
I haven't had any frame rate issues. For sound continuing
Why
when
my
it's
bad.
not supposed to, I've had one when I've gone to the prison. That was the only time I had it. I did a side
Mhm.
quest, and this guy kept. There's a guy you can do side quests for. He says this one line just kind of on repeat during the whole time, just to be creepy. But I had finished the quest, and he kept just still repeating that line and didn't give me the end dialogue, even though the quest itself completed. So I basically had I left the area and it stopped the dialogue because it would just randomly come on every so often.
Uh-huh.
But it didn't like go away until I reset the game. Like if I went back to that area, it would just start doing it again. So
Yeah,
other than that,
I had an issue where I was doing a mission in Electricity and I had to go to a certain place and then kill certain people, but it did not give me the marker of where to go. So I had to look it up and then go there and then kill people randomly,
Hmm.
indiscriminately until I killed enough people.
are you gonna do one punch?
I am.
One
So
punch.
I don't know what switches you need
Wait,
to
what
hit
is
for
this?
Wow, you did that in a super wrong order. Okay, so
What's
Comfy,
that?
to do this the proper order. When it's blank, you do the button first, then the wheel, then the lever. So button, wheel, lever, and then that switch there, you pull down and push
Oh,
back
I
up.
see what it's doing. He's okay.
But
So this
he's
is
turning on the
this-
TVs, but he screwed up the order, so he's not. I don't know if he's going to be able to get these to turn all on
He'll figure it out. He just hit the
because
buttons long enough.
there is a specific order to do this. Here he goes.
I got it.
Like I know an order to do it so that it always comes on every single time.
Oh, you're dying.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
He literally kills you in one hit.
yeah. If he hits you, you die.
Oh, okay.
There is no like his name is One Punch.
Yeah, it's literally the one punch meme.
Oh,
It's One Punch Man.
got you. Okay. So
And he drops a he's a farmable guy who drops a legendary.
Yeah, I'm just gonna farm him right now because it's super
Okay, cool.
not thinky, you know.
Got it.
Which is what I've been doing the entire time is not thinky things. in
Yeah,
Borderlands. Ooh,
I've
I
seen
also
you farming some stuff.
you have my mask.
Nice. Comfy has a psycho mask that he got from Guardian Con. Maybe someday I'll get to come to a cool gaming convention and actually.
I
meet
got that.
some
I got this one
fuckers.
from E3.
I
Yeah,
actually
I
already
have
have my
mine from-
GCX tickets, so
I have
Yeah,
mine.
I'm
from
super
Borderlands.
excited for next year. It's gonna be great.
I'm
Mine's in
very
my,
excited to finally get to be there and meet you guys. in real
I'm
life.
excited for you to be there. Honestly, like
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
you know what
very
we have
happy.
to. Do we know anybody who's taking like a microphone and a laptop with them?
I can.
Yeah, I could.
I bring a laptop with me always. So if somebody wants
I
to bring
mean,
a USB mic,
I just bought a snowball for Kaylee to have.
that would be
her-
perfect because it's just an
'Cause-
easy USB mic to use.
Yeah, because she has that plugged into her laptop, and that's how she talks to me on Discord now when we're playing games.
Yeah.
We can do a
Live
one
podcast.
from- yes.
Oh, you know what? If Retro Kai goes too, we could do the Evangelion one. There you
Yes.
go.
Okay,
Live.
so comfy. So press the
I'm
button.
waiting for you to tell me. Actually, first,
I'll
this,
kill that guy
Murder
first.
this
yeah.
guy.
this is an audio-friendly podcast. Audio-friendly podcast. Okay.
So I gotta figure out who I'm gonna play now on PC. I was gonna do Moe's and then save Zane for my PC playthrough, but I don't know.
I think Zane is very good on PC. Much better
Yeah.
on PC than he is on console.
Maybe
Still
I'll
the
do
best choice.
Zane.
Okay, what's the order?
Okay, so button. Okay, the wheel,
She just exploded. Okay, so
the lever on the ground,
we are teaching Comfy a secret code.
and the left-hand switch.
This one?
Yeah, pull it down. Now push it
This
back
one?
up.
Oh, push
No,
back up.
push that back up.
Hey, we got it. All right.
Every
So
every
here's
single
what-
time. That does it every single time.
Through the
I
magic
know it's set.
of Mixer's FTL. Look at that magic. So like, I found a Vlad. Oh, have you guys found what is basically like the E-Tech weapons from this game now?
What do you mean?
Okay.
So like the
So-
lasers or
Yeah, well, not even just the lasers. So basically, like if you find a gun and it has like a growth,
yes,
Oh,
yeah, I've had a few of those.
what is the right word to call that? Because I have a Vladoff assault rifle that basically shot lasers, and the lasers arc between enemies.
Yes. They do.
Also, as a Mara,
dope.
I get stacked electrical or stacked elemental damage, especially shock damage. And then I was also I changed to her phase grasp, where it instead of having the slam, like I would lift them up in the air, and if I would kill the one that's phase grasped, it would grab another one
Nice.
and another one,
Nice.
up to I think a maximum of like 4. And if I kill the enemy, I reload, like instantly reload. So like I would just phase grasp and then zap up with my electric laser, and it would also weaken enemies around it. Plus, it also has
So-
a Nova, so it would suck enemies to them. So I just need to
there
keep stacking
is-
the elemental tree, and then like it's just gonna be gross.
There is a grenade you're gonna want to try to find if you can, called the Stormfront. So
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't
Stormfront is back.
it doesn't explode. What it does instead is that it basically breaks apart and drops these things on the grounds that arc electricity to enemies and then between enemies, like a ton
That's
of
hot.
it.
My favorite grenade from Borderlands 2 was the one that you get from the Tiny Tina DLC.
Chain lightning.
It was the legendary chain lightning. It was so fucking fun.
See, my favorite one was the magic missile.
See, but,
Because because slag was such an important element to have
Mm,
in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
In this game, it has been replaced by cryo and radiation.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer cryo because, first of all, cyan is my favorite color, and second of all, I love ice as an element in every single game. Ice Pokemon, favorite type. Like,
I also
all
just
that
found
shit.
I think it was I haven't got to try it yet, but I found a doll cryo gun that has the little laser things.
That's dope.
The laser barrel. I haven't got a chance to try it yet, so I wonder if it does the same thing.
I
There
love
The
all
reason
of
that I
the
compared it to
fire
the
modes for
E-Tech is
weapons,
because I
too.
found a pistol that has the same kind of like. It almost looks like there's a growth on the barrel, like some sort of like alien growing on it.
Yeah, that's
It has like
what they
a-
look like. Yeah.
And I found a pistol that basically shoots like the E-Tech pistols did in Borderlands 2, where it would like shoot a bunch of darts and then the darts would explode after a few seconds.
Dope.
Yeah.
There is a legendary you can get that you probably like as well. It's classified as a shotgun,
Uh-huh.
but and
Oh,
there's
the
a
Malawan?
version. Yeah, it's a
I
Malawan
have
one.
that.
It's
Yeah.
there's a compressed version of it though that shoots out these two giant electrical orbs that then fly out and arc lightning down enemies and between enemies.
Oh, that's neat.
So instead of shooting one, it shoots two,
Cool.
which is pretty interesting.
But yeah, I don't plan on doing any farming as my current character.
I
I mean,
don't
honestly,
plan.
like, as you make it sound like it's fucking miserable on PS4.
It kind of
And
like
I wouldn't
did
want
you
it.
miss the
I
part
wouldn't
where
want to
I
farm on
got a
PS4. I would
headache? Like
want
I
to
legitimately
PS4.
was like, not to mention I was lagging.
Yeah, like the
I don't
like,
lag,
You might be
like-
noticing I get frame rate drops when I first load in, and then once the textures load, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I was
Like,
getting
I'm
constant
running the
like
game- I
just
think it's
frame
because I'm
drops.
using DirectX 12. I'm lagging, but
I haven't noticed any lag myself. But
Crossplay
Uh,
can't come soon enough for this game. Do you think we might get crossplay with like one of the first couple DLCs? That would make me very happy.
I wouldn't doubt it. Mitsu
I-
seems pretty certain that is going to be a thing at some point.
Oh yeah, I mean
Um,
they've kind of already talked. They've already sounded
given
like
how
they really want it
the
to be.
shift codes for Xbox work on PC, because they do, I'm pretty sure it's just a small matter of time. It's pretty much built into the system already. I think they're just waiting to make sure it works.
I
with all
really
the
hope it's
games.
not. It might only be like Xbox only at first, though. That would be kind of a bummer. Although I do already want to get Kaylee an Xbox at some point soon, so
Mhm.
we'll see.
Farming.
Xbox PC crossplay is very, very, very easy for not
Yes.
only the devs but also all publishers.
Yeah.
Because hey,
That's why I
guess-
want to get her an Xbox. I don't want to wait for like the newest Xbox to come out
Yeah.
because like what is it, like
Yeah.
a year away?
Yeah, it's about a
So
year
I'm
from now
looking at
is
like
Scarlet.
the Xbox One without the disc drive. Those are pretty cheap.
That one
maybe
is a
get her one of
super
those.
good deal and definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I'll get
as
her one of
an-
those.
As a note
Man.
for anybody who is looking to do farming in Borderlands, though, if you have a group, it's actually easier to farm for legendaries and
Because they
better
always
if
stay
loot.
you-
together.
Let's be specific.
Uh,
If you are
no,
if you have a group and you are running as co-opetition, then you have a
Yes.
better chance of getting
Um,
legendaries.
You have a better
Really?
chance regardless. If you're on co-opetitions, even it's the best chance. But even
Yes.
regardless of which one you're running, the way they've built Borderlands 3 is that to compensate for the more enemies and whatnot that having a group gives you,
Mhm.
they actually increase your loot drops if you have more people playing.
I mean, they did that in Borderlands 2 as well.
Yes. So the more people you have, the better loot and the better
Mhm.
quality of loot you get. So if you're looking to farm, if you've got a couple buddies who want to do it as well, that's your best chances to farm that way. There is also I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to ruin stuff for people, but there is a farm method that has been found that you can basically do and get about 1,000 legendaries an hour.
What the fuck?
Fuck. Okay.
Probably just need to get the gun.
Nope. It's literally a farm of kind of like what you're doing now, just in a specific spot.
I'm sure that there's a specific enemy that drops 1,000,000 legendaries.
They drop 1 or 2 each time you kill them. You do have to have beaten the game because you have to put yourself on Mayhem 3. But you can do it, and you can do it solo. You can do it in group. And the person who basically put this, one of the people who put this out there, calculated how many he got in an hour, and it was like close to 1,000 or over 1,000. So because the way Mayhem 3 works, you're gonna get a legendary for killing like the boss thing you're killing each time you do it. Like you're gonna get 1 or 2 and sometimes even 3 legendaries. And because it's such a fast farm from where you spawn to where the boss is,
you can just
depending on
meme
how
it super fast.
you can mean the boss, like kill the boss in like a minute and a half, and just keep doing it and get like a shit ton of legendaries to drop each time.
That's awesome.
Actually, not even a minute and a half. I think his kill rate was like less than like 30 seconds. Like, that's how fast he was killing it. So it's a thing. They will probably patch it for that particular boss just because it is a little over the top. But even with that said, people like, well, there's only so many, like, you're gonna ruin stuff for you. It's like, well, here's the thing: Borderlands is so random that you can get legendaries that are crap just because of the rolls that are on them. Plus, on top of that, what you're looking for now is god rolls aren't just like a god rolled weapon.
Yeah.
Like you can get a god rolled weapon, and then someone else can go, "Oh, I've got a god roll with anointed on it, so his is actually better than yours."
Yeah. It's very Diablo.
Wait, can you get legendary and anointed?
You can be grinding for weapons and legendaries.
Okay.
So you can get anointed weapons that are legendaries.
And in a few months, with one of the first couple DLCs, they'll increase the level cap, and all the things you grinded for are going to be useless again.
Correct, and you'll have to regrind again.
Which I love. I love it.
Now, is there a third playthrough?
Probably. It's probably the same
game. You don't know yet? Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
It was normal UVHM, TVHM in Borderlands 2, right?
And then levels of thereof. The thing is, I don't know if
straight to TVHM in this one, I believe.
I don't know if anybody's done past the second playthrough yet. Yeah, because I mean, the game hasn't been out that long. People are just finishing the story within the last day.
I'm not finishing the story today. Hey,
I don't think I will either. What's that? Oh, is that shotgun that does the thing?
That's the shotgun, yeah.
One pump chump.
Wait, you already had one of those, didn't you?
Yeah, but I wanted to get another one.
Oh. Okay.
I thought it'd be fun to grind on stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat. I know how to do it. I kind of want one of those.
I'm gonna when I beat the story and like the level is bumped up on stuff for
Mayhem 3.
This
is 100% a gun I'm gonna get.
Yeah, like when I put something on Mayhem 3, I'm gonna go farm this.
I probably won't farm until I hit level 50 at least.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm already
on PC.
Level
see, the thing is, because Kaylee's not an end game. She's not an end game player.
Yeah.
The likelihood of me and her grinding much of the end game, if at all, is going to be pretty slim. So.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly one of my favorite things about Borderlands. Is you don't need to be an end game player to enjoy it. You don't even need to be an RPG player to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like it.
See, that's the thing. She used to play Destiny with me, and like she's just like, okay. She didn't really. She used to actually raid, but we used to have a lot of friends. But she's not an end game grinder for stuff like that. So unless it's fishing in Final Fantasy 14, because holy shit, let me tell you, I have never seen her grind for something more than to just be like, I'm max level fisher. You're level 30 for your normal shit. I know you're level. Okay, but it was fun. It was fine. Like she wouldn't do dungeons with me, but she would fish for hours and hours. I was like, okay.
Okay, so once you're done the main story, you've got you've got True Vault Hunter mode, you've got Circle of Slaughter, you've got Mayhem modes, you've got Guardian ranks to start earning, because those are locked until you finish the game.
Until you beat the game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got post-release content. You also have the Proving Grounds. The Proving Grounds are designed as cooperative focused missions, but you can take them on solo if you want. There are, I think, 5 to unlock.
Okay, so there's actually going to be quite a bit of end game stuff.
They went hard on the end game for this one.
Maybe she will actually get into it. I don't know.
So those ones.
I just really hope that we start to get cross save or cross play as like
the
standard unlocking for a lot of games.
The fall winter post content roadmap is already out.
Oh.
There's a roadmap out?
Yeah, hold up, I'm bringing it up.
Would you mind giving it to me so I can just pull up a stream?
I will find you. It's a video.
It's a video? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
At least it's trying
Watch
to
the
load.
video,
Oh no, here we
Copper.
go. I got an image.
Yeah, an image. Yeah, if you want to DM it to me or post it in the Weebs Discord.
Yep.
Free content updates, spooky activities. Oh, cool. Bloody Harvest. Ooh, it's Halloween
Weebs.
themed. Kaylee's gonna like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so we got Bloody Harvest. So there's 3 things coming for the fall winter. We have 2 free events, which are Bloody Harvest and the Malawan Takedown, and the first DLC. So Bloody Harvest is a free content update, spooky activities, unique event awards. So that's probably our Halloween event. So expect that probably next month.
Me and Kaylee.
Malawan Takedown, you have another free content update, all new map. So we're getting a new world, probably, which is cool.
Yep.
Challenging new enemies, take down an all new boss, earn powerful awards. So probably new legendaries and rare guns to earn of themed. DLC 1, which comes to season pass. You have it. So it's more add-on to the campaign and more details to be announced. I hope at some point, because they always add extra characters to play as, that they add in Tina as a character.
As a playable character? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Isn't she in the story?
I don't. She is, but I'm not going to tell you how.
Okay.
So, but it's such a way that you could play her as a character.
Okay.
Because she's never been a playable character because she's always been a kid.
Right. Yeah.
But now she's an adult, which they make a point of making in the game. So.
I feel like you could have one of her ultimates be just like she pulls out this like giant grenade launcher that does like stupid amounts of damage. That'd be kind of fun.
and fires like rabbit-shaped missiles.
Something. Does something.
So I'd like to see her be one just because she is a fan favorite. It'd be interesting.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of characters they could add. I mean, they've done such a good job with these characters. They're all very different and very interesting, and the trees are very different for each character as well.
Right.
So
yeah. What game doesn't run like shit on my PS4? Call of Duty. I played the demo. I played the beta.
I've been playing Monster Hunter on PS4, and I've noticed it running a little slow.
Do you have a PS4 Pro or an OG PS4?
I have an OG PS4. Mine's about 5 years old, so it's not like the newest of things.
The thing that sucks is like when they were, especially at Microsoft, when they're talking about, oh, we're going to continue to support the old consoles. Don't worry. The thing is, they focus so much on the new consoles, which I guess makes sense, but they do it to a point where they want to optimize the graphics as much as they can for the fancier consoles. You get not good performance, like almost unplayable performance on the older stuff sometimes, and it's fucking bullshit.
Even sometimes the new stuff. The problem is that people who play on console,
terrible. And
this is nothing against them. I'm a big fan of consoles. I have quite a few of them.
I've been
tend to value appearance
really
over frame rate, because when you're playing on a giant TV screen, which a lot of gamers have, you want it to look the best it can possibly look, and I can't blame anybody for that, because I don't want to play something that looks like blocks either. And that means frame rate usually has to take a back seat. So what are you going to do, right?
Yeah. But it's rough sometimes.
Plus, graphics, especially for console games or things that are on console, sell games more so than saying, oh, this game is 60 frames. Okay, well, what does
most
it look like?
People don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I shouldn't say most. I don't know. Do you? See, we're in like completely different land than like the super casual gamer. Do you think the super casual gamer gives a shit and or even fucking realizes stuff like
for
that?
Frame rate?
I don't know.
No. Frame rate, no. The people who are more casual about gaming know if something looks good or doesn't look good. And that's what they care about.
Sure.
And the reason like Nintendo games, for example, are, for the games that are all like Nintendo property ones, tend to be all like stylized rather than be like super realistic, and that is because like one, they were trying to go for a more family friendly vibe originally, and that's kind of the style they developed from the get-go.
What
But
are we talking about?
those games also allow them to have games that look super good, plus push the frame rate up. But when you're looking at things like Monster Hunter World or Borderlands 3 that have so much going on graphically, they've got to make a choice, right? When it comes to consoles, it's either frame rate or graphics. And when
For
you're
some
looking
reason,
at
they pick graphics.
Yeah,
Well,
because we were talking about how like
they pick graphics because that's where they make money from for console games.
we talked about how when they were talking about doing the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, Sasha, they were like, we're going to continue to support these old consoles. Don't worry, everything's great. But then they optimize for the newer consoles so much that you get subpar performance. Like
I was having this conversation with someone about Persona 5 Royale. So, for those who don't know, Persona 5 Royale is basically Persona 5 with an expanded storyline, and it's being released on the PS4 only. Persona 5 was released on the PS4 and the PS3. And I was getting a lot of messages about how, look, this is so much prettier. How is this so much better? Why didn't they do this with normal Persona? It's like, because they also had to develop for the PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking, those are completely different console generations. What they wanted to do with
the concept, though, it's the same concept of they're developing.
But it's like
end.
But it's like it's not. It's.
But that's exactly what it is when you compare PC to console gaming right now. Honestly,
yeah.
It is functionally the same because it's a lower end, just an even lower end, right? It's like having a $300 computer versus a $500 computer.
Yeah.
Which is functionally what they are.
My pupper wants to play. So I apologize. Come here.
It's fine.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we're running long. This is actually the Borderlands podcast now.
But what I started talking about was like, you know what doesn't run like shit on my PS4? Modern Warfare. I played the beta this morning. I played like 5 hours of the beta. It was really fucking fun. I like it a lot. If it runs well and is a good port to PC, I'm 100% buying it. It's gonna be fun.
Like, I was watching you. I had you on mute because I was playing Borderlands, but
yep, that's my life this weekend.
The general consensus I've gotten about Modern Warfare, and let me know if you think the same thing, is
you're one of the only people I've actually turned on.
Super fun, but all of the maps are just poorly designed.
Like almost every other streamer I've had them turned off. Like I haven't watched like people I normally watch in the mornings, like Goth or Broman or Kevin. Like I haven't seen any of Fish's streams or Red's, even Comfy's. Like I've seen like nobody's stuff like this past week because I've been avoiding every possibility of spoilers.
Yes. See, I'm actually kind of smart because I'm doing.
So you got to watch me play Call of Duty. So
so I got to watch you since I saw you were playing Call of Duty. I'm like, I can put Dela. I had you on for Borderlands yesterday because you're behind me in the story, so I can throw you on and not be a problem. Plus, you're playing as a character I'm not playing as, so I get to see a bit of that character, which is cool.
Yeah.
So see, I know, like Red's behind me as well, but he's also playing as Flack, so it's not as of a draw as you because you're playing as a character I'm not playing.
I'm playing two side by side, so I'm constantly behind. So that makes it easier for people who don't want to get spoiled, which is really nice.
Yes.
But unfortunately, my playthrough today is going to be Flack, so that's going to be boring.
And as far as like the map designs, so I mostly played the 20v20 today because that's the game that I'm mostly interested in. There's only one map in the beta. Hopefully next weekend there'll be more. But I did play some of the domination, and some of the other maps I played were like the map design was kind of garbage. There was one map in particular I was like, this map kind of fucking blows dick. Like it's real bad. So
I know like Seth was saying like the game is so pretty and it's so fun and the gunplay is so good,
I still had a lot of fucking fun. Like I'm still also as a Battlefielder, like I started to find myself enjoying Battlefield a hell of a lot more than Call of Duty. I don't mind kind of like not so much I wouldn't say a clusterfucky map, but like
realism map.
Yeah.
I guess because that's what they're going for, more or less. So.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to playing again on PC where I don't have to use a controller and can actually do well because my aim is not great. Granted, you can use a controller or you could plug a mouse and keyboard in for Call of Duty on PS4, but I couldn't be bothered for that. I didn't care. So I just used controller for a bit. But the gunplay is so good in that game. Like I was able to find myself winning gunfights because I could control my gun's recoil a lot better than the other guy. Stuff like that. So like the guns actually have a significant amount of recoil.
Yeah, I think
stuff like that.
Call of Duty YouTuber I watched did a video just every single gun's recoil and was like, just I'm gonna shoot it, not aiming down sights, single shot, and then unload the mag, and then like he did everything for every gun. He's like, just watch them. They're so pretty. They sound so good. And I agree. It looks amazing.
The gunplay feels really good. The gunplay feels great.
As jaded as I am by Call of Duty, I'm kind of interested in this title.
I think I'm also the fact that it's crossplay literally everywhere
That's a pretty
on
good
launch
one,
is pretty cool. So I'm kind of like, unless I play it this weekend and like the PC port just feels terrible and I just don't have a good time, I'm going to pick it up because you also get the campaign, stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, next week we're going to be doing, the fuck are we doing?
Copcraft.
Copcraft.
That is actually the name.
Chat.
That's the full name. That's the name both English and Japanese.
I forget where to find it. I don't think
Kaylee
it's on
found pumpkin
Crunchyroll.
spice pretzels. Okay, I was just checking Discord. Sorry. But yeah, so next week, Copcraft. Comfy, where can people come find you play? I assume a metric fuck ton of Borderlands over the next week.
Yeah, whenever I'm streaming, you can find me at mixer.com/Comfimus. You can find updates to my stream schedule at twitter.com/Comfimus, and you can find pictures of me playing video games on Instagram.com/Comfimus. But hey, I only have pictures on Instagram. If you want to find some art stuff on Instagram or Twitter, hey Copper, where can people find you?
You can find me at Copperline Designs and Copperline Art on Twitter and Instagram, respectively. And if you really want to, you can look up a bunch of my past work, as well as contact me through copperlinedesigns.com.
Nerd. My name's Copper. I have a website.
Last but not, I have a website too.
Do you? I don't have a website.
I mean, I have Subop.
I was going to say, Dale, you kind of
That's
do with
true.
Subop.
Subop.co/maybe Mr. Bridges? I don't know.
You can also look up the best picture of Dale possible that is on
We
the
need to get
Subop
that
website.
updated to my new one, actually, like for realsies. I need to send that to Drake and go, hey, buddy.
I
think we
can
need
send-
to update a lot of those. I think we need to do a little bit of an overhaul, which we're in the middle of.
I can send Drake a perfect picture of you to put up
Don't
on
you
there.
dare send in the one with me on the potato. Stop.
As a Dale.
But anyway, that has been 2.5 Weebs. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back next week. We're going to be discussing the first 3 episodes of Copcraft, and there will also be another Vinland Saga episode to talk about then. Thank you for listening.
I'm very much looking forward to.
Have good weeks, everybody.
Bye.